Hey guys, Sharpshooting1 here, going to another Roblox scripting tutorial. So today I'll be teaching you guys how to use Marketplace service. Marketplace service is a service on Roblox that lets you sell things called developer products or game passes for a certain amount of Robux that you specify. And then depending on what kind of builders club you have, you can get a certain percentage of that that you can spend on whatever you want. Or if you get a certain amount, you can trade it in for real money. So in order to do that, you need to have a published place on Roblox, and you need to create a developer product. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So first, open up the search engine of your choice, and then go to rbx.lua. After it loads, go to the Develop tab right here. And make sure you're on the My Creations tab. Then scroll down and then go to the place that you want. I made a place for this tutorial. And then make sure it is active. I think it needs to be active for this. And then go to Configure Place. And whatever you want, pick whatever description that you want. But what we need right now is the Developer Products tab. I already made one right now, but I'm going to show you guys how to make one. So just go to the Create New button. Type in the name that you want it to have, the description, and then how much you want to sell it for. And then also, you need an image file for it. It can be whatever you want, doesn't matter right now. And also, you can set the price in Robux for whatever you want, because when we test it out, it doesn't take anything away from you, because Roblox made it so when you test it in the studio, it doesn't take anything from your actual currency. So you won't be putting anything down the tube. So after you finish filling that out, click on the Create button. I'm not going to because I already made one. So when you finish, one of them should show up right here. It'll show the price in Robux, the name, and then the product ID. You need to get the product ID because we need that in order to prompt the player to buy it. So go ahead and click on Copy, and then go ahead and click on Save. Now you can exit out of this because we don't need it anymore. Alright, so I brought up the API right here, and so the thing we need right now for developer products is the prompt product purchase. Let's go ahead and click on it, and we can see the parameters it needs. So the parameters that we need are the player and the product ID. You can use the equip of purchase if you want, but I usually don't like to use that. I like to script the other stuff. So with the equip purchase thing, if it's true, if you're selling a tool, it'll equip it automatically if you do it. And the currency type, I believe, is deprecated now because that used to be like back when tickets were actually in the game, you could either sell things for Robux or tickets, but since Roblox removed tickets, you can only sell it for Robux. So this is really irrelevant now. I'm pretty sure it's deprecated. So you need to open up Roblox Studio and wait for it to load. Okay, so after it loads, you need to log into your account, and then after that, go to the My Projects tab, and then scroll down or up to whatever place you're gonna try this in, and then click on the Edit Edit button. Okay, now inside the workspace, or in the server, I'll just do the server script service. Doesn't matter, workspace or server script service, either one works. So create a regular script. And so first we need to get the service. So I'm gonna make the service equal market equals game get service. Oops. Marketplace service. So after you do that, what we need to do is that we're gonna, right when the player joins, we're gonna ask them to buy the sword or whatever it is that you want to sell them. So to do it right when they join, we need to use an event of the player's object called player added. So game.players.player added connect function, and then it'll pass the player that just joined in this parameter right here. So what we're gonna do is we need to do market and the function prompt product purchase, and then we need to type in the player that we're gonna ask to buy the product. Then we type in the product ID. So that the product ID is the thing that I told you guys to copy a couple minutes ago. You need this because it tells the game what you're asking the player to buy. Now after this, the player can choose to buy it or not. So what we need to do is we need to go back to the Marketplace Service API. And then down here, there's a callback function called process receipt. Now what process receipt does is, this is a required thing, so you have to do this every time. What this is, this processes the purchase for, so Roblox knows that the person purchased it and everything like that. And so you have to do this because if you do not do this, then you will not get the Robux that the person spent on it. And as it says right here in this note, highlighted in red, it says if you fail to return purchase granted after 3 days, the money from the transaction will be refunded to the buyer. And so after 3 days, if you do not do this process receipt function, you will not get the Robux, and they will get the Robux back that they spent, and they will still get to keep whatever they bought. So you need to do this if you want to make any money off of this. So, and also, the one parameter that it has is a receipt info, which is a dictionary. It's very similar to a table which I showed you guys in the last tutorial. So I guess I'll be showing you guys how to a little bit about dictionaries in this one. So this is the list. This is the list of things that the process receipt is going to return. It returns the player ID, the place where purchased, so it returns the place ID, like the identification number of the game that the player bought the product in. The purchase ID, which is a unique identifier. So it's a string that identifies the purchase as a whole. The product ID right here, which is the set that they're buying, the currency type, which is deprecated because there is only one currency type now, and the currency spent, so how much Robux they spent on the product. So, and the way we use this callback function is a little bit different than the other ones. This is how you use callback functions. So you define it as a regular function, but the name cannot be whatever you want. It has to be market dot. Let's see, what was that again? I can never spell it right. I'm just gonna copy it. Here. So market dot process receipt, and then we're gonna have right here the receipt info. So what we're gonna do here is we need to. So since the person is buying this, we need to give them the actual. We need to give them the thing after they buy it. So we're going to go into the toolbox here in models and just get a sword because I don't want to spend time building it right now. It's unnecessary. Type in sword and they get like the link sword or something, it doesn't matter, and put it inside of actually the server storage. So drag inside the server storage, and then what we're going to do here is we're going to get the info about the receipt. So since we need to be, what we need to do is we need to clone this from the server storage and get it inside the player's backpack. We need to get the player, but in process receipt it does not give us the player, it only gives us the player ID. So one way we can get around this is there is a function of the player's object that can get us the player object from the player ID. So go ahead and go to the player's API, which is the player's container, where is it? Right here. So this function right here, get player by user ID. So what you do is that, here, let's go to the actual function page. So all you need is the user ID, which is what we get from that dictionary, and it says returns the player with the specified user ID, or nil if that player is not in the game. So what we're gonna do to get the player is, it's gonna be a local variable, player equals receipt info. It's going to be game dot players get player by user ID, and then receipt info dot player ID. There. So now we have the actual player instance assigned to this right here. So now what we need to do is, now that we have the player, we need to do an if statement just to make sure if the person actually bought the sword. This isn't necessary right here because there's only one thing they could possibly buy. But if you're working on an actual game where you can sell multiple things to the players for Robux, you need to do these kind of if statements. So what we need to do is we're going to do if receipt info dot, see, what was that again? The product ID, that's what it is. If product ID equals, just copy this again, then so to give it to the player, we're gonna need to go into the server storage. So game.serverstorage dot sword clone dot parent equals player dot backpack. So the reason why we can do game.serverstorage.sword.clone.parent, the reason why we can do the dot parent right there is because when you do the clone thing, it returns it gives you that line of code or whatever variable you assigned it to, the new instance that it just cloned. So since it gives us that, we can assign the parent right away, and there's really no need for a variable at all. So since we do that, so because of that, we can assign the parent right away without any extra lines of code. And so now, since we have this, what we need to do is we need to return. Let's see, it's an enum type. So enum dot, I think it's like there we go. Product purchase decision dot purchase granted. So now what it's going to do is that when the callback function needs to happen, it's gonna go right here. It's gonna give us the receipt info in this parameter. Then we get the player using the get player by user ID function, and then we do one last check to make sure it is a set that we want, and then we go into the server storage, and then we clone the sword and we put it in the player's backpack, and then we return purchase granted. So that way, we can get the Robux that the player spent on it and make some kind of money off of the game. Now, just to let you know, you do not get the money right away. It has to, Roblox says that you get your money after 3 business days, generally. And so after that, then you get the money. But you do not get 100% of what you sold it for. If you have Builders Club, you get 70% of what you sold the product for. But if you are not Builders Club, you only get 10%. So it's really beneficial to have Builders Club. And that kind of makes the term spend money to make money, true. So you'll make more Robux if you buy Builders Club, and if you're a really popular developer, then you can make quite a lot of money and make a huge profit. So let's go ahead and test this out. Press play. Alright, so for this finish here. Alright, so this thing will pop up. This is the default Roblox GUI that shows up. You cannot change this. It's the same for everybody's thing. So it shows the picture of it. This is just the one that I decided to upload for it, and it asks you, do you want to buy the product sword or whatever else you named it for, whatever the price was, which was 200 Robux. And down here, since we are in studio, it says this is a test purchase. Your account will not be charged. So when you when you do the buy now and everything inside of the studio, you will not lose any Robux. So let's go ahead and press buy now. Purchasing. It says your purchase of sword has succeeded. This was a test purchase. Press OK. And then down here, our script has given us the sword right here. And here we go. Now we can use it and stuff and flip around. Alright, so that is how you use that's how you program sorry, I forgot. That is how you program marketplace service to work with developer products. So now I'm going to show you guys how to use how to program marketplace service to work with game passes. Okay, so now game passes, they work a little bit differently than developer products. With developer products, you can buy them the player can buy them as many times as they want, and the benefits of it, the benefits or the whatever you program the thing to do will happen immediately. With game passes, those are only a one-time purchase, and you have to rejoin the game for them to be active. And so also because of that, when you buy a game pass, they show up on the games page and on the store page. So to purchase, to start one up, you have to do a command very similar to prompt product purchase. Instead of prompt product purchase, it's just prompt purchase, and it works the same way, I believe. It goes the player and then the product ID and then the game pass ID. So the function right here, prompt purchase. So it says the player, the asset ID, equip if purchased, the same thing. It'll equip it if it's a tool, and then currency type equals default, and it's no different than anything else. So first, what we need to do is that we need to create a game pass on our game. So we can go to rbx.lua again. We have to go back to the develop page. Let's press the develop. Alright, so we go to, let's see, not create a badge. There we go. So on this, if you go to the place you want to create the badge, the game pass, you go over here to the little gear with the arrow, and then you go down to create game pass. Sorry, I'm a bit slow on this. I haven't created a game pass in a really long time. I just do developer products. So this works the same way. So you choose an image that you want to do for it. So let's see, let's choose a random thing. Let's do, say, admin picture or something like that on Google. God, Google. Alright, so this picture looks good enough. Actually, this one looks kind of cool. So go ahead and save this image, or however you want to do it. And we do admin test picture thingamajig. So save, and then go ahead and just drag this up to the file thing right there. I believe you have to have that. So name the game pass whatever you want. So I'm gonna name it admin, and put the description test game pass admin for my YouTube video, and then tutorial place. There we go. And you have to have an active place for this. So then you can preview it. There we go. So it'll show this. That thing right there means it's gonna be reviewed. So it'll show up after when the moderators approve it. Verify upload. There we go. Game pass has been successfully created. So now what you gotta do is you gotta click on the game pass. So right here it'll show this. It'll show what the game is for, the description, who made it, and so now you still need the asset ID. But to get that, you need to go up here in the URL thing, and then up here in the search bar, after this admin item ID equals, after that equals thing, that is the asset ID. So you need to copy that, and then you can exit out of this. We don't need that anymore. Actually, we still need that. Yeah. So go back here and then prompt purchase, and then we can post that right there. And so, let's see, we can do that. Alright, we don't, so everything else can stay the same, but we don't need this anymore. And so since I'm not gonna go into doing admin or anything like that, we're just gonna print something at the moment. We're gonna say, let's see, let's do player.name has bought admin. We gotta copy that again, and I put that right there. Alright, so now it's gonna prompt ask the player, when the player joins, it's gonna ask the player to buy this admin game pass, and then when if they accept, it'll go through here again to get the player. It'll check if they actually did buy the game pass, and it'll print this and return purchase granted. So let's do that. Wait, what? Item is currently not for sale. Alright, I'll be right back in a second, guys. Let me check this out. It's been a long time since I've done these passes. Okay, so I figured out the problem. After I made that, I forgot to actually put it for sale, which is a pretty stupid mistake. So if you're already logged in, just go back to roblox.com/develop. So after it shows up, just scroll down back to the place, tutorial place, and then go to create a game pass. And then choose the place that you made the game pass on, tutorial place, and then it'll show the game pass right here. Go to the gear and then click on configure. So then down here you have to click on sell this item. Alright, and so then here you type in the price that you want to sell it for. So let's say admin is 500 Robux. Alright, so then we can save it. There. And so now it should be for sale. So now let's go back here and test it out again. This doesn't like to refresh. Okay, well it's gonna work the same way, but I can't buy it because I created this, and so I can't buy it since it's already created. But so after you do that, you say you want to buy it, and then the same stuff will happen. But then when the player rejoins the game, how do you tell if they are admin? How do you tell if they have that? Well, there is a function in Marketplace service for that exact thing. So we'll go to the back button, and then in this yield function you can go. There's a yield function called player owns a set. Alright, so what this does is that it checks if the player owns the set you specify. So you can type in the player, you give the player instance that you want to check for, and then you type in the set ID that you're going to check if they have. And so then if it is true, it's going to return, if they do own that, it's going to return true if they have it and false if they don't. So since we have to rejoin the game, what we're going to do is that, let's see, we don't want to prompt them anymore since we already have that. So let's get rid of that for now. So now what we're going to do is, let's see, local is admin equals market player owns a set. I think that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, that's what it is. Alright, so player and then the set. So just copy this again and paste it right there. So if is admin equals true, then print player.name is an admin in this game. Of course, if this was a real game, you wouldn't just do that. You give them, all the permission stuff that they have. And also, player owns a set. That is not specific to just game passes, I believe. It can be, I think it can be developer products too. So let's go ahead and test that out. Since it says I already own this, it should say that right off the bat. Oops. There we go. Down here in the output it says Sharpstream1 is an admin in this game. So if I didn't own this set, it would not say that. So that's all I have for you guys today for Marketplace service. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe and like and comment what you thought about it, and hopes you guys earn some Robux in the future. I know when I first found out about this thing, I got pretty excited and wanted to make some Robux. So I'll see you guys later, and please tell any other friends that want a script about this channel. And I'll see you later.